guys, Kevin here from Relax and Learn Guitar, where I teach folks over 40 how to play guitar so they can relax, have some fun, and be part of a great online community. This is a quick lesson on finger pain. It's real. So especially if you're a beginner first starting out, or if you have not been playing for a while and you pick the guitar back up, you're gonna have, and I tell folks this, you're gonna have some pain when that's happening. You're basically taking your, skin, you're pressing it against pieces of metal and wood, and it's going to, until you build up those calluses, it's gonna hurt a little bit, but there are some things you can do to make it less painful, and that's what this video is about. So a lot of times people starting out, their fingers hurt, they get frustrated, it's painful, it's no longer fun. You want the guitar to be fun. And so people give up and they stop playing because it hurts their fingers too much. So you can use these 3 tips to not quit playing guitar and to stick with it and do a couple of simple things that can help you have less pain in your fingers, more likely to stick with it and keep playing the guitar. So tip number 1, when you're first starting out, you really have a tendency to want to make sure you get these chords right. So let's just take a C chord. And folks, and I did this too, will keep that C shape and press down on those strings even when you're not strumming the guitar. So you might be kind of just resting or in between practice of chord changes, for example, or even if you're just kind of playing along with others. Folks have a tendency to keep pushing down those strings even when they're not strumming it or playing those notes. So kind of tip number 1 is, unless you're needing to sound out that note or that chord, then no need to press down. Save your fingers for when you actually do need to make those notes ring out. Second tip is kind of around time. So I really tell folks, you only need to practice maybe 10-15 minutes a day and you'll see some noticeable differences. So when you're first starting out, I was this way. I was very ambitious. I wanted to play. I was playing in hours at a time, and that really wears on your fingers. So at least when you're first starting out, until you build up some calluses, you you really could just practice 10 or 15 minutes a day. If you really wanted to, you could break it up and do something kind of in the morning and the evening. But you don't need to be practicing hours and hours. You can even kind of go every other day at first, just to give your fingers and your skin on your fingers a little bit of a rest and be able to have that be saved for later. There's plenty of time. You can relax about it, and over time they will build up. So until then, if you want to have less pain, there's a couple of tips for you. And the final tip is around, probably the most important tip is around finger placement. So let's take, for example, let's see. Let's work around here on the 5th fret. So on the guitar, there's pieces of metal. It's fret wire. So these metal pieces that are in the wood are called frets. The space in between, so this is fret 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Most guitars are going to have a dot or an inlay of some type that show you the 5th fret. So we're going to talk about that for a minute. Let's say you're playing, let's do the 3rd string on the 5th fret. So I want you to do a couple things here to experiment a little bit. If you're doing finger placement as close to the frets as possible, you have to put down less pressure to get that note to sound. So you want to get really close to that fret with your fingertip. You want to have a nice arch in your fingers. But you'll notice, like if you're right on top of it, you're going to get this muted or like a buzzy sound. And you don't want that. You want to just get familiar with exactly kind of on your guitar how close you can get to that fret to make it sound. And then I want you to kind of lighten your pressure as much as you can and still get a nice ring out there. So if I go too light, it's going to mute. But I can press, doesn't have to press too hard when I'm close to the fret. Now if you move your finger back in this 5th fret toward the 4th piece of metal in your guitar, the 4th fret, see how much harder you have to press. It's like probably 10 times as hard to press down and get that same note on that same string. We're still on the 3rd string, 5th fret. It's still the same note. but you really got to press down a lot harder when you're further away from the fret. I can feel it. Like, I have calluses and I can feel that hurting. So if you move toward the fret, up instead of the back of the fret up here to the 5th fret here, you can press a lot lighter and get a nice sound. So you want to pay attention when you're playing chords. If you can fret those close to those fret wires, you'll have less pressure. So the closer you are, the less pressure, the less pain you'll have. So that's the third and last tip of this video. Some quick things you can do to make a difference. And again, that finger placement being the most important one. Play around with it and see what you think, see if it helps. If you like this video, be sure and press the like button. Subscribe to the Relax Learn Guitar channel. And in the link in the description, you can sign up at relaxlearnguitar.com for free lessons. I'll send right to your inbox.